He's going to take a troop advantage as soon as that second gas really begins producing. He's going to be able to produce a lot more units, a lot more mules going to come out. Actually, almost manages to get... Oh, Zergling did spot the natural expansion, did spot the timing on that, so that's an advantage. Didn't get inside the main, but I honestly don't believe he really needed to. Of course, it helps, but I think he already knew what Calm had going on there. He had the initial scout, and really in his EVZ, that's really... all you need after the initial scout. After you know the timing of the Spire, the only thing you really need to know is where the expansions are and how many troops the other player is building. Scourge also out in the air for GoRush. They did get spotted though. GoRush again trying to get through with the Zerglings, just sending out random Zergling scouts. This Zergling scout might actually go. Yes, he is actually going to go into the main. Going to take a full-on spot. Going to see everything there is. Going to get the full positioning. Going to try to spot some weaknesses. The opposite side, Calm is actually going to move out with a few mules, taking out some Zerglings at the natural position of GoRush's, but there's nothing. I still don't know if Calm is spotted at the upper left because it's still staying completely unharassed. No mules flying towards that direction. I think it would be a pretty good plan for Calm to try to go for that upper base and try to get GoRush to react by sending his mules out there. He might even try to split his forces, sending a small contingent of mulisks at the upper left while sending another, or maybe slightly larger contingent at the main in hopes that GoRush will react to the harassment at the upper left from the small contingent of Mulus. Scourge from both players now out there, so it is going to come down to a large Mulus battle, and I believe Calm probably has the superior APM, and therefore most likely the superior Mulus might go. Actually, going to be a little bit of Scourge landing for both players pretty well, but I think Calm still has a little bit more Scourge. Scourge again fighting for both players. Again, Calm I think landing far too many Scourge. Not quite sure on the Mulus number. Now finally GoRush also reinforcing with his own Scourge coming in a little bit late. I think Calm actually came out with a few more Mulus after that single battle. GoRush trying to reinforce the balls again, trying to push Calm back. Again takes a hit from a Scourge there. Not doing a very good job. Now actually he's going to go into the natural Calm. I'm going to see whether he actually manages to do any sort of economic damage. He's going to go in for the drones here. He's going to try to cut some production. Actually going to fly it after the Mulus. I think actually GoRush is trying to go for the kilo here, but I think he should actually instead go for the economic damage. He's trying to do a pretty good amount of damage here. He's following Calm's, but honestly I think this is a bad idea because Calm has such a short reinforcement route, and now GoRush is going to be forced back. I honestly believe that GoRush should have stayed inside of the base of GoRush's and just done as much damage as he possibly could. Up the opposite side, apparently Calm actually going to have some Zerg. Is going to have Zerg. He's moving into the position there. Is going to have Zerg as a second. Second call spawning pool. Interesting enough, they should be going for the Spire. Actually, now are going to go for the Spire, and a bunch of drones going to be pulled off the line by GoRush. Going to try to take out all of these Zerglings, and the Mulus are going to be far too late coming down, and the Spire actually might go down. The Spire is in critical health at this point, critical states. Zerglings are going to continue attacking Mulus. Finally, they didn't reinforce, and the Spire stays. The Spire barely stays. Oh, that would have been crippling. That would have been absolutely horrible. GoRush lost some mining time, having to pull all of his drones off the line, and they still weren't enough. Mulus being forced to fly back just in time to finish off the Zerglings before they took off the Spire. Spire almost being taken out. So now, throughout the entire game, GoRush is going to have a vulnerable Spire. And honestly, I still think that it was a mistake of GoRush's to try to push Cal inside of his own base. He should have instead Calm's base is. I said Cal by accident there, I'm sorry. Calm was inside of his own base and was taking, damage, was being forced to move his Mulus away, and actually had a very vulnerable worker line. Should have been so GoRush should have been able to take a small amount of drones out, if not a large amount of drones. Again, trying to push in here. I just don't think he has the Mulus number for this. I can't quite tell, but I believe Calm has a larger clump, about the same amount of Scourge. And still GoRush now has to be very paranoid about his Spire because only a couple of hits to that Spire by Mulus, and the Spire is going to go down, and that's going to be GG right there. GoRush also sending some Zerglings out around the field, just trying to, again, get some spawning, possibly try to do some damage. Still think GoRush is actually going to go for this again. He really knows he has to. He has to do a lot of damage. Also, Zerg is moving at the expansion, at the natural there, so that's a pretty good job. Also, Calm, however, not falling for it, moving his Zerglings out before his Mulus up there before the Zerglings managed to do any significant amount of damage. I'm not quite sure. They might have taken out a single, I think they might have taken out a single drone, but not too much damage done overall. Just trying to force Calm away from that position. Calm doing a pretty good job using his Scourge to push GoRush back, so the GoRush couldn't actually move into the natural with the mules. Actually, is going to move towards the drone line again. Is going to take out, I think, a single drone, maybe even two. Has a lot of Scourge to reinforce those mules with his. So Calm really has to micro against all those Scourge. Is going to take a few Scourges. Look at all those Scourge trying to move in here. All those Scourge fighting it straight to those mules. Not quite sure how many he managed to micro against. So GoRush is going to go for it here. Is going to go for a full-on frontal attack. Try to chase Calm up. Also hitting with all of his Scourge. Doing a pretty good job. Finally, even more Scourge flying in for him, so now it's just a micro battle at this point between the two Scourge forces. Even more Scourge now flying in for GoRush, just trying to hold Calm back. I still think Calm, I'm not quite sure what the Mule's number at this point are. They both rather small for both players, but GoRush again pushing it, still has those Scorch force, landing even more forces. Now it's just going to come down really to who loses the Mule's first. Calm, of course, in this occasion has a large reinforcement group, but is going to lose all of his Mule's here. So GoRush has an open line, not really sure what he's doing though. Overlord, they're dying. Not really, I believe that the Mule's of GoRush really should go down and do some sort of damage. There we go, that's what they're doing, almost the entire drone line there, I believe, being taken out. GoRush reinforcing even more, sending even more moves out. Actually is going to go for the drone line here, and at this point I believe, yeah, GG coming in from Calm and GoRush. Wow, GoRush doing a wonderful job there, taking Calm out. Seriously, this is what I can say. I feel that the Air Force Ace team these days is a little bit revitalized. I mean, Boxer, despite the fact that he's back to SKT1, even though he's not really playing there at all, has got to look back at his, as the team he helped establish. Well, helped is really too weak a word to what it really did, but at the team that he helped make, and he's got a smile. He's got a smile that, and I bet he wants to play against them. I honestly believe that SK should field Boxer against the Ace team just to, you know, I think it'll be awesome for him and for the Ace team. So yeah, great job by GoRush. Ace takes a 1-0 lead. Gotta say, it's a little bit surprising, but wonderful job there by GoRush, setting Ace up for, God, you never know, a possible win. So that's it, guys. GG, Ranchin' out.